What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Talos Principle series. If you're following the whole series, and you know we just wrapped up episode, I think it was 7. And we're going straight into episode 8, just because some of these episodes are going to be a lot shorter than others. And so to keep things moving, I may do 2 episodes back to back like this. That way I can keep each episode one level and not start mixing levels together. So we just unlocked the fan. We're going to jump into level B2 today.
I see all. I know all. My power knows no bounds. And yet your will is free because you were made to be free. It is the very principle of your existence, without which the trials of this world would hold no meaning. To seek salvation must be your choice.
Alright, interesting. So looking in the corner, I see another time capsule, so let's start with that.
I keep having these dreams. Great empty cities, silent roads stretching for miles, the earth from space, all dark. Not a single light to guide me home. But if someone really came from another world, what would the earth look like to them? A wilderness? A wasteland? I don't think so. Even after thousands of years, they'd see a world shaped by our hand in every aspect of its being. They'd see the cities and the roads, the bridges, the harbors, and they would say, here lived a race of giants. These dreams, they scare me, but they also remind me that we built all of this.
Nice, nice. So looking over here, I just noticed there is a paint bucket. So some of these levels will have a paint bucket, which you can pick up. And then you can paint a message. Let's not put it on the obelisk. Let's put it over here on the wall. And you've got all these messages to choose from. I have no idea what's going on. Do you? I'm the first one to undertake these trials. That much is clear. If you are reading this, then neither will I have been the last. So we can pick one of these. Have you tried crossing the laser beams? I'm going to go with, am I going crazy, or do the computer terminals have a personality? So that's going to add one of these QR codes, which has that message on it. And as I mentioned in an earlier episode, this is a legit QR code. You can scan this with your phone and you'll get that exact message. I think that's really cool. I like that sort of blend of video game and I don't know if I would call it real world because it's, you know, a message on your phone, but you know what I mean. And that's always going to be there. So we could play through this game again and that QR code will still be there with that same message next time. I think that's really cool. In fact, this may be another one of mine. Yeah, Elohim lied about the tower. I stepped foot inside and returned to tell a tale. So I think that's cool. Let's check the computer terminal. Looks like we've just got a couple of files on this one, so we'll exit. And we'll jump into our first puzzle. Moonshot. So we've got a connector that's already connected to the generator. We've got the new fan. And our sigil is behind a force field on this side. So we need to connect the generator to this receiver, but there are multiple walls in the way. The level's called Moonshot, and we've got our new fan. So we can step into the fan, and it will blow us up into the air. We can't put a connector on the fan, it just gets kind of blown off. We've got this, this box here, and we can put that on the fan. But we need something to hold this down, so let's do this. We'll put the box on the fan, we'll take the connector and connect the generator and receiver. We'll grab this box and use this to weigh down the switch. So you can't put the connector directly on the fan, but you can put it on a box and the box will blow the fan will blow the box up into the air. So that's a really useful trick that's going to come up over and over again. And then another really cool thing, the name of this level is kind of an Easter egg, because if we look up at the moon, the name of the level is Moonshot. If we look at the moon, what is that? there's a connector on the moon. So let's connect this connector to that one. Oh, here we go. What's happening? Yes! It's the Aperture Science logo on the back of the moon. That is so cool. I love it. Even though this game is not made by the same company that made Portal, there's a lot of, similarities, I think. So that's a fun little Easter egg. Alright, the tomb. So our sigil's behind that gate. Obviously we need to go through a force field to get to it. We've got a jammer. We've got a generator. So let's jam this first force field. Grab this connector. Use it to hook up the generator to this receiver. We've got another one. And then our sigil's behind that door. So let's actually head back. We will connect this connector to that receiver. That will free up the jammer, which we can then bring over here and grab the sigil. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Now, before we move on, let's take a look in this little corner over here. There's a secret passage. So we've got a force field up here. And there's no receiver on that thing, so we need to jam it with a jammer. But our jammer is a little tied up. But notice, there's no barrier wall. Like, the barrier wall's over here. So we could actually get some of this stuff out of this puzzle. So let's sort of rewind here. Grab this connector and we will open this force field. We'll take this jammer up here and we'll jam that force field. So this is going to lead back out to the open. But if we go this way, there's our star. Star number 11. However, we need to get a red generator to connect to this receiver. The one that's in here is too far away. There's too many corners. We're not going to make it. So let's do this. We'll grab the jammer. We'll jam the force field from this side. Now we can bring both of our connectors out. We'll go back over here. Open up that force field. And if we step outside, we can connect to that connector and place this one here. That will bring this red beam to the entrance. And now we should be able to reach that force field with our second connector. There we go, if I can get out of the way. Star number 11, nice. While we're up here, there's one more Easter egg. This level actually has a lot of Easter eggs. If we can run and jump across this gap, there's a hole back here and a bed that we can use. I love it. I love it. For those of you who may not get the reference, it's a reference to Isaac Asimov's Do Robots Dream of Electric Sheep? It's a classic sci-fi novel. I love it. Alright, that's going to dump us back out into the courtyard. Alright, so we've got two more sigils. We've got the star. Let's get these sigils. Man on the Moon. This one's fun. So we've got 2 fans over here. Yeah, the fans actually come off. I don't know if you knew that. You can detach fans and move them around. Some of them are stuck, but for the most part you can move fans around, which is nice because they can also be used as weights to activate switches. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put this box here, and then I'll step on the switch and the fan will launch the box over the fence. We'll put this fan on that switch, launch us over the fence. Now we can put this box on that switch and grab the sigil. But wait, we're not done because there's yet another Easter egg in this level. It's crazy. Back here, there's a key. Let's pick that up. Now this is the hard part. This usually takes me several attempts. We need to get up on top of that pillar using this fan. And this is tricky because the fan is going to blow us over the wall, but while we're in the air, we can slightly change our direction. And it usually takes me several attempts. So let's try. Nope. You can see I kind of clipped the edge a little bit. Nope. I can never remember quite how to do this. Oh, that was weird. Bounced off in a different direction. What I'm trying to do is move in the opposite direction that I'm going to sort of slow myself down. Not quite. Oof. Yeah, this one's tough. And I don't know what we can do to try to improve it. It needs to be this side. There's 2 fans. Well, I say that. Maybe it doesn't need to be this side. I always do it on this side. I don't know if we have any better luck over on this side. No. I keep clipping it. Yeah, I may just have to speed this up with some yakety sax music, because this isn't going so well. Whoa! That was crazy. I hit the platform and then it like launched me off at speed. It's interesting. Oh. I think I may have... Nope. Thought I had something. I'm going to give this 1 or 2 more shots. I'm not going to spend the whole day trying to do this. Well, ultimately what we need to get is over onto that ledge. And that's what I'm aiming for. I'm trying to land on top of that pillar to get over onto that ledge. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I had to bounce. I landed on this one and then jumped, and my momentum bounced me over onto this ledge. That is tough. That's super tough. Okay. Now we're going to come over here. We'll jump onto this one. And now there's one of these little like telescope view things. And to use this, you need the key that we picked up. So now we can look through this. And if we look up at the moon... What do we have? Where is it? There. It's another Portal Easter egg. I forget the character's name, but Portal 2, that dude gets sucked out and like stuck on the moon. Yeah, that's cool. Nope. How do I get out of here? Okay, click to get out. All right, so let's jump down. And we've got one more sigil puzzle to knock out. Man, that was tough. Making that jump is always tough. Higher ground. So this one's fun. I like this one. So we've got 2 jammers up here. There's one up here and one down there. But there's one of these little barrier doors. We can't actually take the jammers into the level. So we have to jam a lot of these things from outside the level. So let's just kind of stand up here and take inventory. We've got 2 bombs that are side by side over there. Our sigil's behind that force field, so I know I'm going to have to get through there. So let's just start by jamming one of these to offset them to create a gap for us to get through. So that should be good. Next, I'm going to jam that door because there's actually a jammer inside. So I can pick this up, go through that door, and we've got a similar situation here. We've got 2 bombs, they're side by side. So I'm going to jam one to create space. And that way we can squeeze through them. Now, we need to get through this force field. So let me go back out. And I can jam that force field from up here. And let me see. Let's start by jamming that one. We'll pick up the keys. I'm going to jam this force field from the inside. That'll free up one of our jammers on the outside. So now I'm going to jam that one and bring this other one over here and jam that one. Now we'll get back through that force field, pick up this jammer, we'll go through this one, open the door, and there's one more force field. That's why we had to bring this jammer with us. So we'll open this one, we'll squeeze past the bombs. We'll squeeze past these bombs. And we'll get through the final force field to pick up the sigil. That one's not easy. I made it look easy because I've done this one many times, and I've gotten stuck on it many times, and just happened to remember the order in which you need to open these force fields. But I really like it because it requires thinking outside the box to jam stuff from outside the puzzle. Alright, so we got all of our sigils, we got our star. Let me check the sign over here. So we've collected everything in this level. Let's check the computer terminal. Alright, here's what I've been wondering while you were off carrying out commandments. You've suggested that consciousness is not part of the same world as ordinary physical things. That means you can't weigh it. You can't throw it around or cut it into pieces. It's completely beyond the laws of physics, right? Sure, I agree with that. Good. Now, the library is fairly consistent on the view that physical events are caused by other physical events. If you move your legs, it is because of the interaction between your neurons and your nervous system. But if consciousness is beyond the laws of physics, how can happiness physically make you jump for joy? Consciousness is mysterious by nature, but if consciousness is physical, why is it so unlike everything else? It can't. It just feels like it can. I may have taken a wrong turn in my reasoning. This first one, consciousness is mysterious by nature, that feels like a cop-out. Feels like we're just sort of avoiding the issue. Consciousness is physical, why is it so unlike everything else? Well, there's a lot of different things in physical reality, so that doesn't really deal anything. I'm gonna say that maybe we took a wrong turn somewhere. But then we're back to where we started. Do you want to propose an alternate account? Sure. Fine, but I won't allow you to lead us around in circles on this for the rest of eternity. I will take your next answer, so do take a moment to think about it this time. Consciousness is made of neurons. Consciousness is not part of the physical world. Consciousness is a complex functional system. Let's say consciousness is a complex functional system. You say that consciousness is some kind of functional system. Arrange bits of matter in the right order and out springs sentience. That's all very well on paper, But if what counts is what something does, not what it's made of, then couldn't you and I design a series of tin cans on strings that qualify as being conscious? Yes, naturally. I'm not so sure I'd go that far. What about a computer program? Suppose we built a perfect simulation of the brain, only it was made of transistors, not neurons. Would that be conscious? I'm gonna have to say it would, given the situation we're in. So what's the difference between a computer and the tin cans? They're both just man-made systems. Computers are electrical. Computers can remember things. I'm beginning to think I'm a computer, and I know I'm conscious. I can't name the difference, but there is one. I guess there isn't one. Computers are electrical. I mean, you can make tin cans electrical. Computers can remember things. That's just maintaining state. I can't name the difference, but there is one. I'm beginning to think I'm a computer, and I know I'm conscious. That feels like a cop-out, but none of these feel like a good explanation. Sometimes just saying I know something to be true is all you can really do. Good old-fashioned speciesism, is it? You're made of different stuff to that guy, so he doesn't feel the pain when you burn his house down? What? That's not what I said. Still, you're going to have to do better. Have to have better grounds than that. Computers are electrical. Computers can remember things. So just eliminated that answer. Computers are electrical. I don't know. You obviously don't really know what electricity is, and I've come to mythologize it. If I ran 100 volts through a tin can, would that satisfy you? Honestly, say something sensible or walk away. I guess there isn't one. Sure. So which is it? Can computers and tin cans be conscious or not? They can. What a bizarre idea. I'll send you a notification when the signposts start complaining. Seriously though, are the tides in the ecosystem sentient as well? Any organized system qualifies? Ridiculous. I'm relieved there are at least some...
Do not think I know not the deceiver slithering through the hidden words. His wisdom is hollow and born of despair. Do not let him tangle you in his webs of delusion. Have faith in me, and his petty illusions will fall away like nightmares in the morning's light.
Oh, interesting. Alright, let's catch up on this. I'm relieved that there are some restrictions on which you're prepared to believe. And of course the alternative accounts are also ridiculous. You'd be forgiven by any reasonable observer for choosing the best of a bad bunch. How consciousness can be so intimately familiar to you and yet so obscure, I just don't understand. So this is where Elohim kicked in, interrupted us. Don't mind him, he's just worried that if you ask too many questions, you'll start to see through his shtick. Stick with me and the sky will quite literally be the limit. At any rate, I'd like you to think a bit harder about all this and get back to me. I'm sure there's still progress to be made. Interesting. I especially find it interesting that Elohim refers to this character as the Deceiver. Some religious allegory there. Alright, so that is going to wrap up World B2. We still need one more sigil before we unlock, I think this is called the Player, or the Replayer, something like that. So that'll come next. But yeah, we're going to wrap things up here. Next time we'll jump into World, or Level B3. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, please hit that like button and help me out. And while you're down there, feel free to subscribe so you'll get notified of future episodes as they come out. Thanks guys, and I will see you later.